I found out shocking news that my son, who I was told had died after childbirth, was actually alive. I know they lied to me. It was my maternal intuition. That was my child. I held him in my arms. "You've gone crazy. Your son is dead," they told me. "No, he's alive, and you know it. You stole him from me." I was Emily Thompson, 27 years old and 9 months pregnant. I kept trying to talk with my baby's father about our future together, which seemed uncertain. "I see you've packed your hospital bag. That's good. Let it be ready. I brought something too. Things for the little one. Do you like them?" "How are you, my little one?" he said to my belly. "Actually, buying things in advance is considered a bad omen." "Oh, are you in a bad mood again, Emily?" "Jason, I'm just worried. We need to talk." "What's wrong now? I'm about to give birth and we're still living separately." "Not this again, Emily. I already told you. I'll finish renovating the new apartment and we'll move in together. Why can't we live at my place together now? I'd feel more at ease." "Jason, we've discussed this 100 times. I can't move out now. These workers are already dragging everything out. If I leave, they'll take another year to finish. Don't you understand?" "I don't understand how you feel about me. We may have hidden our relationship at work before, but now we're almost a family." "Family? You want a family, but you're driving me crazy." "Family is primarily about trust, Emily. I don't feel that from you. It seems like you don't love me at all. It seems like it's just your hormones." "Oh, my stomach hurts." "Emily, I think it's starting. Are you sure? Call the doctor." "Yes, Emily, don't worry. I'll do everything right." Of course, I shouldn't have gotten upset and nervous. The whole way to the hospital, I prayed that my outburst and nerves wouldn't harm the baby. Then I didn't know what this would lead to. I was focused on my contractions and didn't immediately realize that Jason had taken me to a different place than I expected. "Where did you bring me? Did you mix up the address?" "Emily, I didn't mix anything up. Everything is fine. This isn't the maternity hospital where I'm supposed to give birth. This is a good private clinic. I've already arranged everything." "What clinic? Who did you arrange with?" "I need my doctor, doctor." "Harris, I won't give birth here." "Emily, stop with the hysterics, please. This is a private clinic, a good one. Not those assembly lines at the public hospital. You'll give birth here. I won't give birth here. Take me away from here. Have you lost your mind? Where would we go now? We're at the opposite end of the city. Do you want to give birth in the car?" Jason always made decisions for both of us. I agreed. And it's not surprising because our romance began when I was his subordinate, and he was my boss. If only I had known what this would lead to. Despite all the worries, childbirth in the unfamiliar clinic went without any particular complications, and finally, I held my son in my arms. But something bothered me. "How handsome you are. Your eyes are like your mom's, and your nose is like your dad's. What will you name him? Maybe Nick or Alex?" Jason and I still haven't decided. We've been arguing. "Your dad will come now and see how beautiful you are. There's a button if you need anything. I'll be in the next room." "Wait, what about Jason, the baby's father? When can he come visit us?" "Anytime. This isn't a public hospital. We allow visitors, isn't he here?" He was worried. When he found out everything was fine, he left immediately. "Strange. When will he come back? I'll bring him to you when he arrives. Meanwhile, feed the little one. I'll come back a little later to take him. You need rest. We'll wait for him. He'll be here soon. Maybe he's preparing a surprise." This was so unlike Jason. Despite the fact that things weren't smooth between us, he had been looking forward to his son like few men do. But suddenly he left and didn't show up. Jason didn't appear the next day either. I was beside myself with worry. I didn't know that much worse news awaited me. "Jason, come in. It's me." "Yes, Emily. Unfortunately, I have bad news for you. Is something wrong with Jason?" "No, the baby's father is fine. The problem is with the newborn. He has a high fever." "What's wrong with my child?" "No, no, lie down. You shouldn't get up yet. The boy's diagnosis hasn't been established yet, but we're doing everything possible." "I need to be with my child. Let me see my son. That's impossible. The baby is in isolation now. Believe me, Emily, we'll do everything that depends on us. I need to call Jason. He must come. Some medicine might be needed." I panicked. Our little one was sick. Jason had gone somewhere at such a time. I felt terribly helpless, and my horror was just beginning. I didn't sleep all night, but the morning didn't bring good news either. Jason! 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 Mom, Mommy, what are you doing? Go back to your room. Jason's there. Call Jason. Something happened to my child. Tell me, calm down. The doctor will tell you everything now. Calm down. No, I want to know now what's happening with my son. Tell me. Well, it's clear we couldn't save him. What? No. Jason. 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 I knew we shouldn't have told you about this. That's why we called him first. Come on, dear. Let's go to your room. The news about my son's death hit me so hard that I couldn't even think about why Jason wasn't with me when I heard those terrible words. Overwhelmed with grief, I was comforted as best as possible by the nurse. Jason still didn't appear. Breathe, breathe. Everything will be okay. Jason. Good. Where? Nothing connects us anymore. Goodbye. These things happen. Men experience grief in their own way. At that moment, I realized that Jason was devastated by what had happened. Apparently, he couldn't forgive me for the death of the son he had been waiting for. It seemed to me then that I would never get out of that bed. But this was just the beginning of my suffering. Emily, I need to talk to you. I don't want to talk to anyone. Well, I have to inform you, the baby's father came by. He completed all the paperwork and paid the bills. And abandoned me. Those are your personal relationships. They don't concern me. So the bills are paid until today. The clinic will no longer be serving you, so we're saying goodbye. What? Saying goodbye? I can't even stand up. My legs won't hold me. Emily, your physical condition is satisfactory. The nurse will help you gather your belongings, and if necessary, call a taxi. It all seemed like a bad dream. Just a few days ago, I had been planning a happy family, and now I was completely alone and helpless. Fortunately, my sister Sarah came immediately to the clinic for me and took me home. But how to heal the grief of an abandoned woman whose child had died? I made you herbal tea. I don't want it. Thank you. Has Jason called? That jerk? Why do you say that? I told you from the beginning he was a jerk, and now he's finally shown what he's really like. Stop it. He's just grieving. We're grieving, you understand? And everyone experiences it differently. Grief? Emily, if you two had grief, he would be here next to you. You don't know him at all. He always disappears when difficulties arise, withdraws into himself, and then reappears when everything gets better. So you're saying if he comes back, you'll take him back? If he repents and apologizes, then yes. One who loves should be able to forgive. How naive you are. And he takes advantage of that. Of course, Sarah was right, but you can't command your heart. Several days passed and Jason still didn't appear, so as soon as I felt a little better, I decided to go to his office myself and talk. Oh, Emily, hi. Long time no see. I just stepped out of the office for a minute while the boss is away. Is he not here? I have a question for him. Jason rarely comes in these days. Always in a hurry. You probably don't know the latest news about him. What news? He's a happy dad. A happy dad indeed. Such faces we had when we found out. It turns out his wife, a beauty, gave birth to his son a couple of days ago. He even treated us to celebrate the son. Showed us photos. Whose photos? Emily, why are you being dense? I'm telling you, his wife Angelica gave birth to a son. They look so cute. Come by sometime and we'll sit and chat. Excuse me, I have things to do. Should I pass anything on to Jason? Number, I didn't understand anything. Jason had hidden me from everyone, but it turns out he had some Angelica who was also pregnant by him. Stunned, I called my sister, who immediately came, realizing something terrible was happening. Sarah, how long do I have to wait for you? Why so long? Since when did you start shouting at me? What happened to you? I just found out something about Jason. He finally showed up? No, he didn't show up. It turns out he's a wonderful family man, husband and father. He's married. What news? How did you find out? I went to his work. He wasn't there, but the secretary said. You went to him? Yes, I went, and I'll go again. I can't believe he could treat me like this. I need to meet him and talk in person. Emily, what is there to talk about? Everything is clear, not clear. I need to see him. I'm going right now. I won't let you go alone. You want me to come with you? Let's go together. For almost the first time in my life, I dared to take some step. It wasn't that I wanted Jason back. I simply understood that I couldn't live on if I didn't clarify everything with him completely. However, meeting with Jason wasn't easy. I only knew the approximate address of his new apartment. Is it this one or that one? What do you mean? This or that? Have you forgotten where he lives? I've never been to his home. What? He bought an apartment when he found out about the pregnancy. He showed me photos, showed me on the map. You mean to say you've never been to the apartment where you were planning to live? He was renovating it. He said, "Why would you go there with your morning sickness? There's dust and dirt." You know what I think? He lied to you. What do you mean? Maybe the apartment doesn't exist. He was just messing with your head. But we went shopping together, choosing tiles for the bathroom. Emily, he lied to you about much more important things. You're like a small child. What should I do now? Get away from here. No, I must find him. And how are you going to do that? Suppose he lives somewhere around here. Will you go door to door asking neighbors? If necessary, I will. Only then did I realize that Jason had really been deceiving me. I couldn't even imagine how much more I would have to find out. And when I was already starting to lose hope, unexpectedly, Jason appeared himself. Ah, so it's true after all. You were hiding from me, and I, like a fool, was defending you. A grief-stricken father suffering because of his child. What are you doing here? I wanted to personally make sure what a scoundrel you are. I've made sure, and now I'm leaving, so that you don't return here anymore. Emily, let's go. Don't humiliate yourself here. You've already said everything. No, not everything. Just get out of here. Jason, what's going on here? So this is Angelica herself? What a happy family. That's my son, Jason. Get this crazy woman away. That's my son. That's my son. You stole my child from me. Could Emily have seen her own child? Emily thought her child had died but saw her son in the arms of another woman with whom her former fiancé now lives. Could Emily's baby have been stolen? You were hiding from me, and I, like a fool, was defending you. A grief-stricken father suffering because of his child. What are you doing here? I wanted to personally make sure what a scoundrel you are. I've made sure, and now I'm leaving, so that you don't return here anymore. Emily, let's go. Don't humiliate yourself here. You've already said everything. No, not everything. Just get out of here. Jason, what's going on here? So, this is Angelica? What a happy family. That's my son, Jason. Get this crazy woman away. That's my son. That's my son. You stole my child from me. Listen, if I see you near my wife and child again, I'll crush you to dust, understand? Emily, please, let's go. You're having a fit. Let's get out of here. I couldn't be mistaken. In this woman's arms was my child. I not only saw it with my own eyes, but felt it in my heart. Sarah barely managed to persuade me to leave Jason's house before I did something terrible. It's my child. I couldn't be wrong. I held him in my arms. This is madness. Are you sure? I am absolutely, absolutely sure. Do you think I've gone crazy? You know what surprised me in this story? Angelica was wearing a tight sweater. She doesn't look much like a woman who just gave birth. Sarah, it's my child. And Jason didn't take me to that clinic for no reason, even though I was against it. They set everything up there. Strange. What to do next? I'll go to the police. What will you tell them? Do you have evidence? Let the police find that evidence. I realized I had become a victim of a horrible deception. I was ready to turn to everyone for help, to the police and courts, without understanding why Jason had done this. Will they help the poor woman at the police? Strange story. I haven't encountered anything like this before. They definitely have my child. You know what? Here's a paper and a pen. Write down everything that happened. So you believe me? That's not important. We need to collect facts, evidence. I swear I couldn't be wrong. I'm a mother. I gave birth to him. I held him in my arms afterward. I'll get all the certificates, charts, everything you say from my doctor. That's good. That's right. You right? Right. It was such a strange story, honestly. I was even surprised that the detective didn't think I was crazy. He definitely believed me, and I had hope that he could help me. The very next day, I went to my doctor to collect the documents the detective had mentioned. Can I come in? Emily, of course. Come in. But a difficult conversation awaited me. I don't even know where to start. Well, for starters, tell me why you didn't give birth with me. That's why I came to you. I gave birth with another doctor. Now I've come to you with complications. Yes, I gave birth with another doctor, not by my own choice. When labor started, Jason almost forced me into some clinic. And what now? Is something wrong with you or the baby? Dr. Harris, listen and don't interrupt. In that clinic, they said the baby died after birth. Poor thing, such grief, but I know they lied to me. My son is alive and they stole him from me. You must help me. How exactly? I wrote a statement to the police. They opened a case and the detective believes me, but I need proof that I'm the mother of this child. I need a certificate about the course of pregnancy. Of course, I'll give you everything now. The detective also wants you to testify. What questions? Of course, I'll do everything in my power. By the way, tell me about this clinic. I'll try to find out about them through my channels. I'm so grateful to you. To be honest, I didn't expect Dr. Harris to be so supportive. Then I didn't know he had his own reasons for it. I arranged a meeting with the detective to hand over the papers, and as it turned out, he hadn't wasted time either and brought me shocking news. Here you go. Here's what you asked for. My doctor is ready to help the investigation. I have news for you, too. In that clinic you talked about, they told interesting things. What exactly? That no one saw you there? No entries in the journals? Nothing. That's a lie. That's not true. They claim they don't do deliveries, only gynecology. And according to the documents, that's how it is. How is that? What should we do now? Do you have any cards from there or a discharge summary? That's the thing. There's nothing. They said Jason took all the documents, and they practically forced me out onto the street. My sister came for me then. Your sister? That's good. That's another witness. I listened and couldn't believe that Jason turned out to be such a monster. Everything indicated that he had carefully planned this. I couldn't forgive myself for letting myself be deceived like that. The next day, the woman was convinced that the detective had taken the case seriously and not everyone liked it. You get out of here. We have nothing to talk about. I wouldn't be here, but a detective came to me with questioning. Yes, I filed a report with the police. I asked you not to interfere in my personal life, and you're sitting here crying and doing nothing when you stole my child from me? You've gone crazy. Your son has been dead for a long time. He's alive, and you know it. You stole him from me. Return my son to me. This is my and Angelica's son, understand? And don't get involved in this matter. Don't try to prove anything, or it'll be worse. I'll put you in prison. Oh, look how we're talking now. If you don't want to do it the nice way, then know that I'll defend myself too, understand? We'll see which one of us goes to jail. To be honest, I got scared. From the way he talked, I understood he had some kind of leverage against me. Later, it turned out that Emily was scared for good reason. Jason declared war on her. Yesterday, Jason came in and wrote a statement. I want to hear your explanation. That I was harassing him? Yes, he claims you were harassing him, and now you're taking revenge on him. But that's a lie. Can you disprove it? Can you prove that you were in a relationship with him? You see, we initially hit our relationship, and then it just continued that way. And Jason insisted on it. So you can't prove it? It turns out that way. Strange story. No one can prove anything. The hospital didn't see you. What are you getting at? That you're wasting my time here, and I believed you. Here's Angelica's discharge from the hospital. Unlike you, she exists. In short, don't waste any more of my time. I understand you're refusing to continue the case. Believe me, that's the best outcome for you. You could bring her to justice. Hello? Yes. Yes. Good. Yes, tomorrow at 3. Good. You're probably right. I won't waste any more of your time. Goodbye. Goodbye. For the sake of my son, I was even willing to steal a document. What else was left for me to do if they took away my last hope of getting my child back? Of course, acting alone, this document became a straw the poor woman grabbed onto. But she needed a doctor's help. Look, when I saw it, it was like a thunderbolt hit me. Angelica's discharge from the maternity hospital. From your maternity hospital. Did you steal it from the case? You're something else. Now is not the time to judge. Can you check everything? How it was if she really gave birth? Of course, I'll check everything. Why are you looking at me like that? I don't recognize you. We've known each other for so many years. I was always such a quiet person, but motherhood changes everything. Lately, I've surprised even myself. It's like another person woke up inside me, but I didn't have time to analyze it. I had to act. The next day, Dr. Harris scheduled a meeting with me. What he discovered shocked me. Why all the secrecy? Why couldn't we meet in your office? I asked. Because I found information that's better not discussed at the clinic. Look at this. Is this accurate? Absolutely. You're amazing. This changes everything. Can I take these with me? I need to show the investigator. I'll do more than that. I'll go with you and confirm these documents are authentic. When I saw what Dr. Harris brought, it became clear why Jason had orchestrated this scheme. Show me what you have, the investigator said. Citizen Angelica gave birth at the third hospital on the 25th. I already know that. But I was on duty on the 25th and I had no such patient. Why should I believe you and not the document? Look at the next document and everything will fall into place. 100% infertility. She couldn't have given birth on the 25th or any other day. I told you I wasn't lying. She can't have children, so she stole my child. This changes everything. Based on this, I can order a DNA test to establish parentage. Now we're getting somewhere. I was overjoyed. The worst was behind me. All that remained was a test that would prove without a doubt that I was the mother of this child. Dr. Harris and I decided to celebrate our first victory at a nearby cafe. To our first victory. I'm confident everything will be cleared up now. I don't even know how to thank you if it weren't for you. Don't mention it. I couldn't remain indifferent when I saw you in such a state. Only because of that? Let's not talk about it now. It's not the time. The most important thing is to get your son back. I didn't press Dr. Harris about what he meant. Only later did I understand that everything had been obvious, but I hadn't noticed because all my thoughts were about my son. The test was completed. All that remained was to wait for the results. I told you I'd get to the truth, I said when I saw Jason and Angelica with my baby. I swear you'll regret interfering with my family, Angelica threatened. Are you threatening me in front of witnesses? What are you talking about? Son, step away. Don't touch our little one. Someone get her away from us. Don't do anything foolish, doctor. Harris warned me. Let me go. You don't understand. This is my son. Let me touch him. This is my child. Very soon you'll take him home and be with him. Just be patient a little longer, doctor, Harris reassured me. Only mothers would understand how much strength it took to restrain myself. Dr. Harris was right. We needed to wait just a little longer. That's what we thought then. While waiting for the test results, I couldn't find peace. I wanted this nightmare to end as quickly as possible, but Jason had no intention of backing down. You again? Coming with more threats? Sarah, call the police. Wait, no need for police. I came to make a deal. We have nothing to discuss with you. What if I offer this? He held out a stack of money. Are you crazy? If it's not enough, tell me. I can get more. Just tell me how much you want. Are you suggesting I sell my own child? You're disgusting. Emily, please, I beg you to back off. Leave everything as it is. Understand, I love Angelica very much. I did all this just for her. Tell me, did you use me from the beginning? I've been looking for a woman like you for a long time. Angelica wanted children badly but couldn't have them. I'm doing all this just for her. She made it a condition that she'd marry me if I arranged everything. You have to understand me. Get out of here. Now. And you, why are you standing there like an idiot? Get out. I was shocked that Jason could use me like that. How could I trust men after something like this? I realized that the only man I needed was my son. Finally, the long-awaited day came, the announcement of the DNA test results. Dr. Harris came to support the anxious woman, and not in vain. The results are ready. When can I take my child? Wait, it's not that simple. The test shows Citizen Jason is undeniably the father of the child, but neither his wife nor you, Emily, are the mother of the child. That can't be. Here's the test, signed by the expert. Therefore, the child remains with the father. Indeed, neither of the women present is the mother of the child. How could this happen? Did Jason bribe the experts? Or was I wrong? Because a DNA test couldn't be wrong. Or could it? Meanwhile, Jason was as confused by the test result as I was. Angelica. Angelica, stop. Let me explain everything. What do you want to explain to me? I don't know how it turned out that she's not the mother. If not her, then some other woman is the mother of our little one. I didn't cheat on you, I swear. It was only with her and only so that you, that is we, could have a son. Everything as you wanted. I don't care. Even if you had to sleep with a dozen women, I don't care. You really don't care? Yes, the main thing is you did what I wanted. How you did it, I don't even want to know. The day of my preliminary court hearing arrived. I couldn't expect anything good. Defendant, do you plead guilty to giving birth under unspecified circumstances and now concealing the fate of the newborn from the investigation? No, of course not. I just want my son back. It's him. He stole my child. Calm down, defendant. Sit down. Witness Jason is called to testify. Witness, what can you say about the defendant's claim? Nothing. We couldn't have had children together because we never had an intimate relationship. Then tell the court who is the mother of the child, since the examination showed that your wife is not the mother. My wife is infertile, so we decided to use a surrogate mother, but we kept it secret from everyone. Your Honor, the defense has new facts. What facts exactly? To confirm them and add them to the case, the defense requests a repeat DNA analysis, not in the court laboratory, but at the Genetics Research Institute. Why there specifically? A geneticist, Nicholas Starr, will speak on behalf of my client. He works in this laboratory. I see no grounds. Mr. Starr claims that the research they will conduct could significantly affect my client's life. This is a special case. Well, I point a re-examination as requested by the defense. It was so unexpected for me. I was sure, doctor. Harris was no longer concerned with my troubles, but he had started something incomprehensible. Emily, explain what's happening. I'm in shock myself. Allow me to introduce my friend and colleague, Nicholas Starr, a genius in genetics. Dr. Harris, what's going on? Can you explain anything to me? What special case? You see, nature sometimes throws such surprises. I think in our case, this is one of them. Explain in plain language. Wait. First, we need to do all the tests, and if my hunches are correct, I'll tell you everything. Stop asking questions. He won't tell you anything now. The sooner we do all the tests, the sooner everything will be clear. I guess you're right. I still didn't understand anything, but I was ready to grasp at any straw, so without unnecessary questions, I agreed to the examination in the laboratory. The professor continued to speak in riddles and explained nothing. Okay, I've taken the blood. Now I need a saliva sample. Open your mouth, please. Good, very good. Now hair. Ouch. The main thing is that they have roots. Yes, excellent. Can you explain why all this is necessary? Later, I'll explain everything. Tell me, were there twins in your family? Yes, our mom was a twin. Is that important? It's critically important. Now everything will come together. What will come together? Emily, quiet. Nicholas knows what he's doing. Trust him. I remember this now like a bad dream. Dr. Harris asked me to trust, and I trusted. What else could I do? I was already tired of being surprised. At the next court hearing, the professor testified as an expert in the case. His testimony was shocking. The courtroom had never heard anything like it. The defense has brought you in as an expert. What can you provide in the case? I confidently declare that, as a result of repeated DNA testing, my client is the real mother of the child. You see? You see. I told you I'm the mother of the child. Please maintain silence. How is this possible? The previous examination established that this is absolutely not the case. Had the professor found an error in the DNA test? I was convinced that my husband had stolen my son, but the DNA test showed that I was not the mother of the child. Meanwhile, an independent expert, a professor of genetics, had his own point of view. Could the DNA test have been wrong? How could that be? I confidently declare that, as a result of repeated DNA testing, my client is the real mother of the child. You see? You see. I told you I'm the mother of the child. Please maintain silence. How is this possible? The previous examination established that this is not the case. The fact is that my client has a rare diagnosis, chimerism. Fewer than 100 of such cases have been registered worldwide. This is some kind of quackery. This is not quackery, sir. This is science. In Emily's family, there is a predisposition to the birth of twins. Judging by everything, after fertilization in her mother's womb, two fertilized eggs formed, which later merged into one egg. Each population of cells retained its DNA, and the embryo that formed became a mixture of both genomes. So you claim that the suspect has two sets of DNA? That's right, Your Honor. In Emily's body, there are like two people, she and her twin, who merged with her still in the womb. Therefore, in Emily's blood and saliva, there are two different DNAs. In connection with this, when the first examination was done and a blood sample was taken, it seemed that Emily was not the mother of the child. But the second examination of hair and saliva confirmed that Emily is the real mother. A truly fantastic case. There has never been such a thing in judicial practice. You're mistaken. A similar case was considered by a court in the USA, the case of Lydia Fairchild. There was a lengthy process regarding the recognition of her motherhood. I announce a 30-minute break. I need to check the facts again. I couldn't believe what I heard. Some hybrid, a mixture of two different people. It was enough to make you lose your mind after such news. My head was spinning, of course. Hang in there, Emily, hang in there. It's not every day you learn something like this about yourself. Let me check your pulse. You're very pale. Let me go. Let me go. You're not going anywhere. Others have tried to run too. I want to leave. I won't give up my little one. You heard everything. Let her go. Let's go back to the courtroom. They're not going anywhere from us. Again, Dr. Harris was beside me at the right moment. Only later did I realize that during those days he had become my guardian angel. Finally, the time came for the verdict. Would the court take into account Emily's strange peculiarity? Everyone held their breath and waited. The court has decided to transfer the baby to the biological mother established by the investigation, Emily. All charges against her have been dropped due to the absence of a crime. Thank you. Thank you. I protest. If she is the mother, I am the father, and I will not give up my son just like that. You are under arrest. For what? For stealing a child, forging documents, and withholding evidence? In a word, plenty of charges. And the child is transferred to the custody of the mother. My little boy. My little boy. Finally, you're with me. He has your nose. It's visible without any examinations that this is your son. Dr. Harris, I'm so grateful to you. If it weren't for you, Emily, I love you. You're an incredible woman, and today I'm convinced of it. A son-in-law and gynecologist is a useful combination. How do I live with such a rare diagnosis? Just like everyone else. Only Dr. Harris, who recently became my husband, sometimes jokes that he's married to two women at once. We are happy, me, my son, and Dr. Harris.